Yes, we do give thanks for life and the mighty life givers. Definitely, we are up in Mount Kailash. Definitely Kailash Mountains, and what we're going to be doing specifically is just just identify a couple of the herbs that we have growing on upon the mountain. As you could see specifically, most of our foods that we have up in the mountain are foods which are grown. Not most of it. All of the foods grown here specifically are food grown, organically. And you could see, as you see, the birds flying and chirping and all around the place. That's the view of the mountain in particular, and that's the road that we build going down to the springs and these type of things as the work actually continues. The flower ahead here, they call it a flower, but basically it's a colored plant, and that plant is what they refer to as Joseph's coat. Joseph's coat, because Joseph's coat was a coat of many colors. As you could see, the leaves principally are leaves with many different colors, and that is a plant that is known specifically for its healing properties when it comes to any issues of the blood. And just by having that plant growing around you principally is a plant that deals with offering you protection, as they would say in the ancient times, protection from different activities, different forces. We fight not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high and low places. As you could see principally, the place is a place that is just wild, but yet still taken care of. Why wild? Because we don't really use, as a macabu banana, we don't use no chemicals whatsoever. That's what they would call an edo plant. Edos, shoe. All right. So basically, these plants here, even that plantain tree, you see there, all these plantains grow, all them ancient banana plants you see growing up here. These things they grow principally, and the way that they grow is all natural, no chemicals whatsoever. Grow our herbs and our plants here. And as you could see, this plant here is what they call the shine bush. The shine bush, as it grows wild here, the shine bush is very good for inflammation. It's a herb that specifically used for inflammatory conditions, whereby any amount of inflammation you have in your physical structure, you could use the shine bush principally as just pour some hot water over it and drink it as water. You would do it as a salad. You just take off them little picks here, the top here, them little things here. You take them off, and principally what you do, you could use the entire plant, within your salad to prepare some nutritious food. So it's very good for people with hemorrhoids, people who have lots of inflammation within the physical structure. They could literally, what they do, they just cut it up, finely, and you could eat it up. Or what you do principally, you could just make a nice little green juice if it blend and drink. Now right in the corner here, when you look right by in the shady area here, right by the banana, which is it's not really a banana, how you call it again, macabu banana. Yeah, right in the shadow here, you see a wonderful looking vervine plant. That's a vervine plant, what they call the vervine lachewat. The vervine lachewat principle is a very iron rich food, very rich in iron, and this grows wild here principally. That's where we harvest and we use our herbs. Principally the herbs actually grow wild, meaning that we harvest wild herbs as they grow, where they grow, how they grow. And this little purple flower that you see that this plant have there, this purple flower is extremely rich in iron, and just by sucking or eating that flower, you get high levels of iron, and that mineral iron principally from that plant. Even the skin of the macabu banana, if it is that you get a cut, if it whatever you're doing when people in bananas and thing and they get a cut, the skin of the macabu banana and the banana, you use that inner core of the skin, you could use that principally, and you take off that skin here, and that same thing here, you use that as a bandage. That could mean as a bandage. That's very good to help to stop bleeding and to help to make sores that don't heal at all to heal. Very important, when it comes to the whole aspect of your healing. Now when we just look a little further, you would see the zebgua just in that little area where we are sitting on the zebgua, which is a herb principally that grows into watery areas, and they wrap it around the neck principally, and it helps to stop headaches, neck aches, all them type of things. And it's also very rich in in omega-3 fatty acids, and also very good for any joint pains, any pain principally when it comes to the joints. As we continue walking down the road, Glory Road, you know, welcome on Glory Road. Rastafari watching you. Selassie Jah, Rastafari. Principally, you could see, as you know, for the time that we've been here, you could see one of our cottages down at the bottom. Principally, it's a cottage that we are building for our people who comes from at home and those who come from abroad. A lot of them are principally welcome. Sour orange, you know, sour orange is very significant as the ancient type of orange that we're supposed to use principally. The sour orange, you know, that orange here principally, it's always bearing sour orange. We use the sour orange as a preservative in our medicines. Also a very rich source of vitamins C, very rich of vitamin C. You know, there also you have, you know, your cocoa. You know, your cocoa contains high levels of your antioxidants, you know, very rich in iron also. The Tekako, extremely good for you principally. As we just take a walk down the spring, as we're going down to the spring, and that's one of the cashew tree, the cashew back. You know, it's used for hypertensive, just the back of the cashew plant that is used for hypertensive. These young cashew trees are young, but at the end of the day, they have actually produced cashews already. That's a male papaya tree. We don't really throw away the male papaya tree. The roots of the male papaya tree is very effective as an aphrodisiac, you know, and even the tea from the leaf of the papaya tree helps to reduce your blood pressure levels and also help with your blood sugar levels. As we walk down, you know, the path towards the baths, you could look up on this side here and you could see some of our, you know, we plant everything, dashing arrows, everything, we plant them specifically, you know, and many of our herbs growing here. You could see your avocado trees and your grapefruit trees and your tangerine trees, all them different type of trees, bamboo trees, you know, bamboo shoots, extremely good. You know, if you just look down, you could see one of our springs here. That's where we collect our water principally for the baths. There you also have another underground spring, which is very alkalizing water. That's very, very alkalizing water from that natural spring here. It's an underground spring. The water generally comes from underneath the ground, and these springs that you see in here is the springs for the baths principally. That's one of the cottages that we are just doing. We are finishing that cottage right here. So this cottage here is a cottage that's going to be ready very soon, and we are working on many more, as that's the road that we excavated. Many breadfruit trees down here, many breadfruit trees. You could see many breadfruit trees down here, you know, and the area you could hear the water flowing. That's here principally as our coconut bridge that we've built. Oh, it's a temporary bridge, but you know, still better than nothing at all. And that's one of our cottages being built, natural wood and so on. We have our builders here, Mr. Jack. Not Jack of all trades, but Mr. Jack. There you have one of our baths. You could see the crystal clear water principle. That's basically spring water. The same water you bathe in is the same water that you could drink principally. If you had a hammer, don't worry about that. That is a different water. That's a reservoir where the water comes from the spring and it actually comes right into the reservoir and collects here. That water collects from the underground spring, so it's a different color. It's a much colder water, used differently, specifically as it comes from the underground spring from over that side. Right over here, as this herb there loves growing close to the water, you'd have what you call the St. John's bush. The St. John's bush, which is a bush that is used extensively for the cleansing of the womb of the woman, principally. Cleansing of the womb help women who don't see the period to actually see the period again, you know, and it grows by the water. And as they say, water actually stores memories, so you could understand exactly what is happening right here. So when you come up the mountain, you organize with your group and so on. You come up to bathe in the springs, where you could take a nice cool spring bath principally. And as you could see, you know, as we walk to one of the cottages being worked upon by our builders here, even today, Sunday, you could see that's Mr. Jack here sawing around, and that's one here being organized. This one here is more the different stage principally. As you could see, everything is coming around. You see all Mr. Jack's muscles are exposed, but that's okay. Hey, Mr. Jack, how you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Give thanks for life. So as you can see, we've used natural wood, you know, in the creation of our cottages as much as possible. With You know, natural hood and green hat principally, and created as natural as possible, so at least when you come you could get the benefit of it. This is one of the cottages principally almost completed. If Ras Stephen here, our chief engineer, going through doing some painting up into the walls. So you get a sneak preview of everything happening inside here. Yes, it's coming along nicely. So soon and very soon you will be able to come in and sit with us right up here and sit down in this veranda self and understand exactly what it is that we are doing right up here in Mount Kailash. So at least you would understand, well, look, it's a work in progress, and as it is coming forward, you could come forward and have a full joy of the time, a time of healing, reflection, time of energy, as we'll show you a different view of the mountain in principle. So you could see cottage Aiteru, many different of them to come principally, but this is cottage Aiteru, organized and nestled right into the hills of Kailash Mountains, whereby you could come in, sit down with us, and have a wonderful time, eat some good foods. Right here you could see the zebazedri growing wild. That's what they call the zebazedri, or the Spanish needle, principally just growing wild here. Many of the herbs actually just grow wild here. The guigui, it's a guigui tree. If no guigui, very high source of vitamins E. They have some trees up here. The fruits are not red yet, but if you look carefully, you'll be able to see some of these fruits here also. Right in the diagram here, these nuts there, nuts that we used to have as children. Nowadays it's lollipops and sweetie. So as you could see, the work in progress, definitely. One Kailash Rejuvenation Center coming to you. Love, love, love.